Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Alright, what's up, Calgary Flames fans? Welcome to a solo episode with
Warning, incoming game.
welcome to a solo episode with me. My name is Anand, your host of Game Over Calgary. Not the best one for your Calgary Flames. We'll talk about that. A disappointing one if you were watching the game, as the Calgary Flames cannot beat the Lightning, Tampa Bay Lightning. They are the Lightning Force that came into the Saddle Dome and defeated Calgary Flames by a score of 8 to 3. We'll talk about everything you want to know. Ask me questions. Join me. Let's share our frustrations together. Let's talk about possible changes that can come. Let's talk about everything. But thanks for joining me solo this evening. If you're watching, thanks for tuning into Game Over Calgary. Quick reminder, if you're watching, be sure to share, like, and subscribe this video. Share it to your friends. Invite your friends. Let's all share the pain together of how this game went. Not a great home game, returning from the road trip, and they couldn't capitalize on what we saw from the Nashville Predators game. So let's talk about all that. Before that, I want to welcome David W to the chat as well. David, welcome. Thanks for listening in. And for those who are going to be joining us in the, I see about four of us in the chat. Do ask us questions, do share, and do like the video as well. We appreciate you for tuning in. This is after the Calgary Flames gets defeated by lopsided by a score of 8 to 3 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. We'll talk about all the goal scorers. We'll talk about the points. A couple of history points were made for the Tampa Bay Lightning. We'll talk about all that. But before that, a quick ad read. Check out the flagship show of Game Over Network Calgary on the Game Over Network channel, Hyperdrive Hockey. All things hockey across various leagues in multiple countries, whatever it is and wherever it is. Max, Duffin, and Kev have you covered for all your hockey news with a steady dose of fun and fan engagement. You can find Hyperdrive Hockey on the Game Over Network YouTube channel or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast on the Hyperdrive Hockey page at the GameOverNetwork.com. So if you haven't already, go check out Hyperdrive Hockey. Fun little segment. They do new things. Max, Duffin, and Kev are fun. So check out them and check out the website as well. So by the end of the night, the Calgary Flames lose to the Tampa Bay Lightning by a score of 8 to 3. I can't complain about the first period start. They started amazing, but then we'll talk about how they tied it in the first period, and after that, since in the second period they became a bit sloppy, but then they made it interesting, and then in the third period it was all Tampa Bay Lightnings that did the work. So for period one, let's talk about the Huberdeau-Kadri-Pospisil line. I think that line deserves a lot of credit. I think they have put the work. The two main goal scorers of tonight, Huberdeau and Kadri, they have been amazing. Huberdeau has now a total of 9 points in the past 6 games. Kadri has 6 points in 6 games. So that line, I think something is gelling along. I think Huberdeau has found Kadri as his new partner, and yeah, that's how that pairing stands. I think I like that forward line, Huberdeau-Kadri-Pospisil. And then we saw signs of Pospisil getting hurt in between, but then he came back, which is a good sign. I think he has been the indicator of how Flames games go. But even though he was back, we saw the twist and turn of this game, where the Calgary Flames lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning 8-3. But yeah, credit to Jonathan Huberdeau. He has been rebounding really well. He has a hot run point streak. He has 9 points in his last 6 games. Hope he can continue this. Hope this was the Florida player we saw. And I believe he's on pace for 30 goals this season. Hopefully that happens as well. I want to see him succeed. And whenever he succeeds, he looks happy and he looks successful and even light-hearted, and that is what we want to see from all of the Flames players. So rightfully Huberdeau as well. So share your thoughts on the chat. What you have thought about Huberdeau as well. We'll talk about it in the overtime period when we hit the chat line as well. But yeah, that line of Huberdeau-Kadri-Pospisil doing its magic once again this period. Let's talk about period one, rest of the part. I have my notes here. So Jonathan Huberdeau unassisted opened the scoring 1-0. Then closer to the end of the period, I don't know who to blame on the tying goal of the Tampa Bay Lightning, but it was a tough one. Either Huberdeau knew he was mad at it, he wasn't happy. You could say that was a turnover by Jonathan Huberdeau, but you can't blame him as well because there was not enough space to maneuver. So from that unlucky mistake, Jonathan Huberdeau ties it at 1-1. And then Brayden Pachal, what a story he has been, I think. Another great game quietly. Unfortunately, he was not on the score sheet tonight. He would have loved to go, though, because his Uncle Kurt, is in Calgary watching the game for Brayden Pachal. So that would have been a good story. And then yeah, it was surprising to see the result of this game, especially because the Flames record at home this season. Credit to Sportsnet for this. But record is 6-0-1. 18 goals for, so they have scored 18 goals, 11 goals against. Save percentage as a team on 5-on-5 is .939. They have had two shutouts, and that's both to Dan Vladar. So I thought Dan Vladar would come strong. And then power play is 7 out of 22 as well. So unfortunately, the Calgary Flames didn't get any power play tonight. We'll talk about that shortly as well. The special teams, which I want to talk about. Face-off wins. It was 19 for Tampa Bay Lightning. Once again, the face-offs winning may be haunting us. Power plays as well. Tampa Bay Lightning scoring 2 out of 2 power play goals. We'll talk about that shortly. And hits as well. Calgary with the most hits in that period as well. So that's your first period summary. I want to also quickly, before I forget, congratulate as well Ryan Lomberg. His family gave birth to a third child, a baby girl, I heard on the broadcast. So congratulations to Ryan Lomberg as well. And Brayden Pachal once again being a good waiver pick as well. So Huberdeau-Kadri-Pospisil line doing the magic. Lomberg having a baby. Congratulations to him and his family. He was out of the lineup during the road game. He chose to stay in Calgary. Of course, families are priority. And then shortly after, Brayden Pachal as well. Great blue line player. Let's take a look at the chat line quickly because I see Moose is here, has joined us. Moose is here. Welcome. And then David W as well. Moses here says that goal by Nazem Kadri was discussing. Indeed, it will be a highlight reel goal that comes in the second period. We'll talk about that shortly. Him and Kadri have been clicking. Indeed, that's Huberdeau as a reference. The refs gave them 3 or 4 power plays and we got 0. We'll talk about that as well coming up shortly. And David W says Huberdeau and Kadri puts up points each having scored. Kuzmenko went pointless and didn't do very much with the takeaway and a -1. We'll talk about Kuzmenko as well shortly because I have a point to make. So stay tuned if you can throughout the show. Thanks for tuning in, by the way, to everybody. I see 7 viewers in the chat. Thanks for tuning along. This disappointing game, home game, I thought Flames will come up with a victory. That's how home games have gone. But again, they disappointed the fans. So let's head into period 2 unless and Cash Dare is here. Cash, welcome aboard. Thanks for tuning us. This is your post-game coverage between the Tampa Bay Lightning and your Calgary Flames. So let's hit period number 2. Once again, if you just missed period number 1, we quickly talked about the Huberdeau-Kadri line. That line has been clicking as well. Congratulations to Ryan Lomberg for his third child. And then Brayden Pachal, what a great waiver pick he has been as well for the Calgary Flames. So we'll talk about more in the second period. But before we head into our second period show, Game Over Network is an independent production focused on community, inclusion, and quality people. If you're interested in supporting the Game Over Network, we have crowdfunding options available. In the description of this episode, you'll find a link to our Patreon page, and we are also working a page through LaRouche of this episode and a crowdfunding platform for originating in Quebec. We are aiming to raise $15,000, and if we hit that goal, we'll gain access to government grants that will allow us to employ more people. So, if David W. Cash or Moose is here, if you want to join us on the Game Over Network team, do let us know if you have any ideas as well. And you can see giveaways for crowdfunding efforts. Let us know in the comments that you're doing right now on Twitter, Instagram, or our Discord server. Hello to Matt Conrad if you're watching. They are also in the Discord server. Make sure to tune in as well. Join us. Let's have fun. Let's chat as well. So, in the second period, I wanted to talk about how it was such a sloppy period. It turned ugly. Calgary Flames. So, something to keep an eye out is what you call a strong reason of being a part of what you call success for the Calgary Flames. We'll talk about that. Sorry, my OBS gave a warning in between. I apologize. Yeah, and then Jake Guentzel gives the lead for the Lightning. Kucherov and Moser. By the end of the night, Nikita Kucherov has a 6-point night for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I think he was the first star of this game. He had 6 points, and this is dating back to March when Brayden Point had 6 points in a game. He has now tied that record as well. So, what a wonderful night for Nikita Kucherov. Congratulations for him on this outing. Tampa Bay Lightning will feel so proud in this outing as well. And then Flames take a penalty, and that's how things turn around. Jake Bean goes to the box for holding, and that's where things turn around. Then momentum drops, and penalty killing hasn't been great. It was great on the road. They went 6 for 6 on the penalty kill on the road, but when we came back home, it has gone downhill. And on the penalty kill, we are like 0 out of 3 tonight. From what we ended up. So penalty killing needs improvement. I don't know how that's gonna fix. We didn't see any power plays like Moose here pointed out. So on that front, special teams, unfortunate for the Flames, we didn't see how the power play was gonna go. But penalty killing not great at all. I don't know if there is any changes you can make. It's all what I can think of. Jakob Pelletier was not in the lineup tonight. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But Jakob Pelletier was added to the penalty killing unit, I believe, last game. And I know I talked about how vulnerability putting youngsters on a penalty kill can be. But if Ryan Huska trusted them to be on, let's try that for a couple more games. I don't know if right now the penalty killing group is tired. We don't know just yet. We'll have to wait and see if any changes come, but I want to see some changes on the penalty killing unit. Again, at the 3-1 goal, already 3 points night for Kucherov. And then Kadri puts the puck over the glass, delay of game call. And then Tampa Bay Lightning, guess what? Scores again. Sarelli scores, assisted by Brayden Point and Kucherov. So all those players doing great work for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I think they were the lightning stars of the show. I know we played against Dallas Stars, we lost 6-2, and now they were the stars tonight against Tampa Bay Lightning. They were the Bolts Lightning figures as well. And then Nazem Kadri, Moose talked about it shortly, and David W earlier as well, and David W as well. Nazem Kadri, highlight reel goal. He got almost stripped, but he found his balance back and took it all by himself. Shot that goal assist to Jonathan Huberdeau, which will add him to second point of the night. Jonathan Huberdeau on a hot streak, and assisted by Kevin Ball. Kevin Ball adding a point to that, but not a great impressive game from him either. Couple of different defensive struggles from the team as well. Mackenzie Weegar, Daniel Miramanov. all part of the defensive breakdowns. I saw them couple times on the ice at least for the Tampa Bay Lightning goals. So overall, not a great game for the Flames. And then shortly after, Connor Zary. He continues to have an amazing season. The kids are all right, 100%. Connor Zary, amazing goal. He shot it amazing. He's gonna be a future star, 100%. Mark me on that. And assisted by Blake Coleman as well. Blake Coleman getting a point, but once again, am I really happy with Blake Coleman's season thus far? Not really. He has faded out from last season. He needs to improve. If you agree, let me know in the chat. Let me know if you want to make any changes in the lines. If something can be done with Coleman. Does Coleman need another energizer like Huberdeau has? Huberdeau-Kadri-Pospisil line we are talking about. And then by the end of the second period, we thought the Flames are gonna come back 4-3. On that period, face off 24 out of 43 for Tampa Bay Lightning, 19 out of 43 for your Calgary Flames. Power plays on that one goes 2 out of 2 for Tampa Bay Lightning. Calgary Flames doesn't get anything in the second period, and hits are 8 for Tampa Bay Lightning, 10 for Calgary Flames, and shots are 17 for 16 in favor of Tampa Bay. Alright, let me quickly hit the chat line and then we can head into the third period. David W says on faceoffs the Flames didn't do at all that well. Her grade with Backlund for 7 for 13, Coleman 2 for 4. Having won at least half of the faceoffs they did taken, but Duher 0 for 3 and Kadri 11 for 15 and Rooney 2 for 10 and Zary 2 for 7, having not done as well. Yes, Zary, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's still learning the center role. He's still young. He has time to develop. But other players, I know we have no one elite sender yet on the team, and that's what we are gonna try for the draft pick. That's how we stock on the draft pick. We need that one elite sender to win those face-offs, but that will be one struggle for the Calgary Flames team, and somehow they need to improve winning face-offs as well. I think that's one of the critical point of this goal against, especially tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Alright, let's do a quick period number 2 recap. So sloppy second period from the Calgary Flames. It turned ugly for a bit as they went from 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. Then penalty killing needs improvement. We talked about that. 6 out of 6 on the road, but 0 out of 3 at home. All 3 power play goals for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Kadri, highlight reel goal. We'll see if it makes it like a goal of the week or a goal of the day. Stay tuned for that. I love that goal, how he kept his balance. And then Connor Zary tucks it in as well. Nice shot assisted by Blake Coleman. And I think the Calgary Flames, by now you should realize that you should play a full 60 minutes game. The first period you played great. You made one small mistake in the first period, forget about that. But the second period you kept taking couple penalties in a row. You gave Tampa Bay Lightning the chances, and then you came out flat in the second period. So important for not only the Calgary Flames but all the teams to play a full 60 minutes. And that will give me a great segue to talk about Game On brand. So Game Over has covered you after the game, like you're chatting right now with me, David, Cash Dare and Moose is here, and anybody else within the chat. So Game Over has you covered right now, but in order to get you ready to watch your favorite team or your favorite sport in general, you have to watch Game On too. Right now, Game On Hockey is a short-form daily news podcast covering everything you need to know about the hockey world in under 10 minutes. Hosted by Graham Moisman, he does a fantastic job. I know he ran into a couple issues this week, but he's back and running again. Monday through Friday on the Game Over Network YouTube channel and in podcast form, which you can find at the GameOverNetwork.com. Game On also features for each Canadian market with hosts local to that market, giving you fun, rapid information. So stay tuned. I'll make a return on Game Over Calgary as well as my awesome co-host Conrad Krauser. Stay tuned for that. We'll bring you Game On Calgary as soon as we can. But in the meantime, we are just refurbishing it to bring you the best quality content we can. Alright, let's hit third period. Let me remind myself to change the marker, and let's talk about the third period. So, third period, I want to talk to you all about another sloppy third period. The game went downhill again after their promising end to a second period. Dan Vladar felt toned down. Does Wolf get the next start? We'll talk about both the goaltenders in just moments time. Share your thoughts about the goaltenders as well if you're currently watching us. We'll talk about Jakob Pelletier. Was he too often early of an healthy scratch? And can we see other call-ups or rumors that are out there as well? We'll talk about that. Let's talk about sloppy third period. So sloppy third period starts a quick start from the Lightning Bolts, 5-3. I think around 48 seconds into the third period, scored by Hagel and assisted by Serelli. We'll talk about, and then soon after that, they score another power play goal. This time, Kucherov assisted. I didn't write down the Kucherov goal assist on the power play. Give me 1 second. Jake Guentzel, pardon me. Jake Guentzel with an hat trick tonight as well. So Jake Guentzel, Kucherov with 6 points, Serelli with a couple of points. They run the party tonight at the Saddle Dome. So it's a Tampa Bay Lightning party as well. And yeah, so another power play goal. Like the second period, the Flames turn out to be flat and ugly. 7-3 from Tampa Bay Lightning. And then the score ends at 8-3 at the end of the third period. So, not a great game at all. We thought the Flames had it in their hands, especially with the start. Once again, and talked about how Jonathan Huberdeau started, which is very unique for him. But he felt confident. He shot the puck. And what's next? They couldn't hold it on. I don't know if it's because they're tired coming from a road trip. I wouldn't give that excuse. Every team has done that. Tampa Bay Lightning is on the road. They capitalized it. I don't know if there were frustrations within the team. I don't know if Pospisil getting hurt rallied on the team. Once again, lot of factors to think about and how this is going to be struggling as well. I'll give a credit to our co-host Conrad as well. Conrad, if you're listening in, you give me the stat real quickly. And Megan Mickelson on the Sportsnet 960 broadcast talked about earlier in the pre-game that Flames are one of the bottom teams when it comes to cross-ice pass metrics. And I think that's important to note because if they can't connect passes really well as well, then it becomes difficult for passes to be made, connection passes to be made, and then you get breakaway in place as well. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Yeah, so that's how the game ends. 8-3. Tampa Bay Lightning the victorious. Once again, hat-trick for Jake Guentzel, Serelli with a couple of points, Nikita Kucherov with 6 points, and then as well Brayden Point as well doing the work for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So that wraps up the scorecard. Let's talk about now your goaltender Dan Vladar. Tokai number one says no goal in the league could have saved this game for us. Um, yeah, possibly because of heavy shot was. But yeah, the Tampa Bay Lightning definitely an elite team. They'll improve their power play numbers. They won't improve their penalty killing numbers though because they didn't have to penalty kill. But yeah, this was a tough one for Dan Vladar. So Dan Vladar, his stats, credit to Sportsnet once again. His record this season so far, 3-2-1. So this will be 3-3-1 this season. Goals against average coming into this game was 2.14. That will increase now. Save percentage 0.917 this season. That will drop a bit tonight, and then shutouts 2 this season. That will remain at 2. So Dan Vladar having a tough game tonight. He started a couple last few of the games. I wonder if they will go to Dustin Wold definitely coming up on Saturday against the reigning champions, Florida Panthers. That's going to be another good test for the Calgary Flames. Ryan Lomberg will get an opportunity to face against his former team. It will be a quick reunion. So I would put my bets on, or I would guess Dustin Wolf will get the start on Saturday. Unless I know Dustin Wolf was fighting a bug, unless if he's not, if he's still feeling under the weather, then that's the case. But he looked all right when he was on the bench, so oh, I'm 100% guessing he'll start the game as well. So tough one for Dan Vladar. Hopefully he doesn't feel let down. Um, all right, another point I wanted to talk about is Jakob Pelletier. Now that's an interesting topic, however you see it. Was it too early of a scratch for Jakob Pelletier? Some of you might agree yes, some of you might say no, and I get both ways. Yes, because he scored a goal. He was fantastic. He brings that energy. But there is also the point that you need to give Kuzmenko showcase because he can be a trade piece at the trade deadline. But Kuzmenko, like David pointed out earlier on, Kuzmenko was invisible tonight, a -1. He had couple uh, great passes though, but he was pointless. So, do we make the change that Kuzmenko sits out next game and Jakob Pelletier is back? Or do they run with the same lines again to give Kuzmenko a showcase once again? I don't know. I'm not the Flames who make the decision. It will be interesting to see how it's gonna spear out. I expected Kuzmenko to sit tonight, and that's what I chatted with a few people, and few people agreed with me. But it was the opposite way, the direction that Flames team decided. So let's wait until Saturday what happens. I would love to see Jakob Pelletier back on the team. He needs something as well, and we'll see how that makes a difference. Maybe they were missing Jakob Pelletier's energy as well. And then there have been other rumors of call-ups as well. William Stromgren, who is having a great season in the AHL with the Wranglers, and Rory Kerins as well. Is it time to test them out yet? Is it too early? Maybe, maybe not. Especially on the Rory Kerins front, let him cook a little bit more in the AHL. But William Stromgren, can you give him a run? Possibly. We'll have to wait and see. So that's the third period. We talked about sloppy third period. Dan Vladar fell toned down. Can Dustin Wolf get the next start? Possibly. Jakob Pelletier was it too early of a scratch, especially this morning's call up. I wouldn't have changed the lines honestly, but I know Lomberg had to come in. But apart from that, I would have really wanted to see Jakob Pelletier on. And then other call-up rumors as well. William Strongman or Rory Kerins, will they get a chance as well? So that's your third period. Now I would like to direct your eyes to the screen as let's do one final ad read for tonight, and then we'll take your chat questions as well. If you're tuning in, thanks for watching once again, and stick around. We'll hit your chat lines soon. But here's the QR code. What a better way to support something you love than by rocking it as clothing. Game Over's apparel line has got you covered with 3 unique designs. Whether you feel the nostalgic pull of a retro skater design, it looks like this or this, or you want to wear one of our love for goalies, if you want, or you want something to drink warm during a winter day. Um, if you want your half coffee or a hot chocolate, designed by Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. Use the QR code on the stream right now. I'll put that on again for you. Um, Help build us local sports in Canada while repping your community. And just a Christmas update, you have the option to use the code Go Holidays. We are offering 15% on all winter products, hoodies, and the beanie. And this will be active until December 25th with the sale dropping with a different sale dropping on Boxing Day as well. So Boxing Day, get your shopping done. Hope you all have a wonderful holiday. So let's head into overtime. I know I hit most of the chat questions, but if you have any additional questions or thoughts, hit them my way. I'll be happy to stick around for a couple more minutes. Let's start all the way from the top in case I missed something. David W. talks about figuratively speaking, zapped by the Bulls, 100%. We had a shock coming by the Lightning. Then Moose is here. That goal by Nazem Kadri was disgusting. We talked about that. That was amazing. Expected to be a highlight reel goal. Him and Kadri have been clicking, and that's Huberdeau. The refs gave them 3 or 4 power plays, and we got none. Fair enough. I didn't see any infractions from the Tampa Bay Lightning necessarily tonight. So rightfully they don't get any penalty killing. Huberdeau and Kadri put up points, each having scored. Kuzmenko went pointless and didn't do very much with a takeaway and a -1. Agreed. We talked about if Kuzmenko needs to be replaced again by Jakob Pelletier. We'll see what comes Saturday. Still a lot of time left. They might practice tomorrow or they might take a rest day and then they come back on Saturday. 8 p.m. puck drop, that is, against the Florida Panthers. And then Cash Deer says hello. Cash Deer, welcome aboard. If you have any questions, put them in the chat right now. We'll take it. On the face-offs, the Flames didn't do well at all with Backlund 7 for 13, Coleman 2 for 4. We talked about the face-off struggles. And then Tokai number 1, welcome. Our regular chatter, no goalie in the league, could have saved this game for us, possibly 100%. And then possibly if the Kraken pass us on the table. So that's your chat line for tonight. Let's do a quick ahead for your Calgary Flames. When do they play next? I'll give you that quick rundown. So the Flames play tonight against the Lightning. On Saturday, it's an 8 p.m. puck drop. Avery from Game Over Edmonton will have the call. Unfortunately, our Game Over hosts are busy on that day, so stay tuned. You'll have a fill-in guest for that for that one. Then the Flames are back on Tuesday again at the Saddle Dome again when they take on the Boston Bruins. I will have the post-game show on that one, so come back. And I'll have a guest on as well. You'll be excited to hear from her. And then on Thursday, they play the Senators. It will be a crossover one, I believe. And Ottawa Senators at home as well. And then we play the Chicago Blackhawks on Saturday as well. And Matt will have that. So that's your look ahead for the next few games. It's going to be a tough schedule. Once again, Florida Panthers, the reigning champions. Then we have the Boston Bruins coming in town. Boston Bruins have had their own struggles. Can we beat them out? And then Ottawa Senators as well. And then Chicago Blackhawks, San Jose Sharks, Vegas Golden Knights, Vegas Golden Knights and Vancouver Canucks to close out the year. And then we start the new year as well. For Game Over fans, stick around if you, by the closer towards the end of the year, probably on the show on Sunday, December 29th, against the Golden Knights, I might have a news to share with you, a personal good one. So we'll see how that fares out. Tokai number 1 saying I see a loss against Boston and the Panthers. Yeah, Panthers, I could see a possibility. Boston Bruins, I don't know just yet. We'll have to wait and see how their struggles have been. And then Maximus Sislake, Calgary Flames 2005 says Calgary Flames make a playoffs in 2025. That's a possibility. The next year, maybe. Or do we wait for the playoffs until it comes to the new building? Something to think about there. Thank you, Maximus, for your input. And the Tokai says Sens, Hawks, and Sharks might be a 3-game win streak. The Hawks and Sharks will be tough. I'm gonna say Connor Bedard and Macklin Celebrini will give, and then we reunite with Tyler Toffoli. They might give us a hard time. Ottawa Senators, how the last game went, I doubt it as well. So Tokai number 1, I'm gonna rebuttal your point. Then I'm gonna flip it around. I could see probably win against Boston Bruins and Florida Panthers. And then we are going to struggle against Ottawa Senators, Hawks, and Sharks. That's my final thought to end the show. We appreciate all of you for watching tonight. Thanks for tuning into Game Over Calgary. Next up is a Saturday game, 8 p.m. puck drop Mountain Time, so it will be late Game Over show. Avery from the Game Over Edmonton fill-in host will bring a post-game coverage. And then I'll be back on Tuesday next week, December 17th, when the Boston Bruins are in town. I'll have a guest on that call. And then shortly after, Ottawa Senators on Thursday, where Conrad will be back as well. So that will do it. Thanks for spending the evening with us. If you are in Calgary, have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy some Flames action. Hopefully they don't disappoint you as fans. Hopefully they don't disappoint Avery as well. And then I'll be back next Tuesday as well. Till then, have a great weekend. Go Flames, go.